Hello. Today I'm going to have enough courage to share my scrapbooking projects with you. By the way, I'm not really a scrapbooker. I am a card maker. So when I attempt to do scrapbooks, it's because I love the whole concept of telling a story and keeping the memories in a format that combines the picture with the story. So that's why I love doing scrapbooking, and I can't do 12 by 12 pages. I don't know why, so I do mini projects. So I either do mini albums or mini books or mini photo card type things. So I'm going to share some of the projects that I've done this winter, and we'll see how much time I have as to how many I can show you. I'm going to start with the projects that I did for this year's WOW presentation at the regionals for Stamping Up, and then I'll show you some personal projects that I've done. So at the WOW presentation I had 3 Matchbook albums. So the Matchbook albums are, what they are is they're actually card size in format. So this actually fits in a medium-sized envelope. You can see that it's envelope size. So, and that's the standard size envelope. And all it is it's a piece of paper cut. So I'll just take the insides out, cut into that Matchbook format, and then folded so that the bottom piece of it becomes a place to put your photos. Okay, so inside the mini album is the pages. So just to kind of talk about each one of these just briefly, and they just have a ribbon wrapped around them in different ways. Each one of them has a different kind of a ribbon wrapping. This one was to illustrate that scrapbooking doesn't have to be about a holiday. It could be any day. It could be whatever you might be doing. So in this case, this scrapbook is commemorating a trip to the Butterfly Museum. And here in Seattle we have a great butterfly museum where you can actually go and see the butterflies, and they actually can land on you, or I think it's called light on you. And it's a really neat experience. But if you have children, you'll want to bring them because there's education combined with the fun trip. So in this case, and all these Matchbook albums, there's only 4 pages. And each page in the album has a selected photo. So in this case, we're picking photos that are talking about the different kinds of butterflies that were seen at the museum. And what I did, in addition to putting these photos in there, which are actual photos from that day, is I've punched out with the decorative label punch a little piece of my grid scrap paper that I keep on my desk, and I wrote the name of the butterfly. And then I've just used a designer series paper that the designer series paper is actually driving the color palette. On the back of these cards can be written other things, like you could use the back, and so you could put another piece of grid paper, or you could use a white gel pen on the back to tell the story about this butterfly, what makes this butterfly different. So I used some of the Big Shot dies and these little embossed lit butterflies to accentuate the pages on that mini album. So the goal of these little Matchbook albums is, can you create something in 30 minutes that will A, get some pictures out of your computer, and B, get them in the mail to someone who would love to see them. So I think these kind of mini albums are perfect for fathers who are away at war, or for grandparents or distant relatives that may not get to go to those special events with your children, and they might appreciate those pictures. This one is for Christmas, so it's exactly the same album, same format, with 4 pages inside again. And the reason why there's only 4 pages is to, again, keep it under 30 minutes. Can you put together a scrapbook in just 30 minutes? Imagine how many people you could make happy if you could. So these are an example of a quick mini album, and I've actually used the ornament punch in this case to punch the photos directly out. So these are photos that were printed on my laser printer, and so in that case I'm not worried about damaging the original photos. They're safe. But I've printed a copy out and then punched them out. And then I've used some of the dies from our I think it's called Northern Frost die, but I'll post it in the description so that you know. And this is the very famous, very popular Deck the Halls Designer Series paper that's accentuating the pages and driving the color palette. And again, they're stuck in there, and off that can be mailed to Grandma and Grandpa after Christmas. So let's imagine that they sent gifts to the kids, and you take pictures Christmas Day of the kids opening the gifts, and then you send them those pictures right after Christmas as a thank you. Another one that I had done, and this is not a matchbook, but it's just an example of what the matchbook looked like, because when you do a WOW presentation, Stampin' Up! Keeps one of your designs, so they kept the Halloween version of the matchbook album, but it did look like this. With this one, I really enjoyed using dimensionals to make my bats on different levels. So each bat has a different number of dimensionals under it so that they cast different shadows. And then I did some stamping on acetate in order to cast a shadow in the shape of the flourish and the flowers. And so this was what the front of the Halloween mini album looked like. And if you wanted to see the rest of the Halloween mini album, you can go to my blog and you'll see the pages recorded there. Okay, so these are the three that were done. These are the three mini matchbook albums that were done for the WOW presentation. Tune in again. I will be posting a video regarding a larger scrapbook that I did with just Deck the Halls Designer Series paper as my base. Okay, thank you. Come back again.